Okay, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Uh, First off, definitely holding myself accountable for not posting on YouTube as frequently as I know that I should be slash could be. A lot of my content has been designated to short form, posting on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikToks, things of that nature. I have been writing to myself, but I haven't been allocating time on a week to week basis to actually talk to the camera and just share updates as to how things are going. And like I said, I do hold myself accountable for that. I would like to get into resume the routine of posting at least once a week. Just updates for anyone who cares, which, over time, more and more people will, due to the fact that it becomes more and more apparent that this is the story of the fitness industry so far as the direction that the world is moving in. Health and wellness being the prioritization, and the requirement, the need to actually have heroes, stars, to represent this movement, which is natural is the way. Natural is the way. And so far, so good. Myself and my co-star slash training partner, Valley Muscle, have made a lot of great progress in the past 9 months now, so far as this year is concerned. We really hit the ground running in January, got a coach, competed, placed well in our respective divisions so far as men's physique and classic physique divisions, and immediately went back into prep again for the next show coming up in November in the Bahamas. Make sure your passport's ready. So that's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. And man, life, right? Life. It dawns on me throughout the week that I'm moving into my final years of obscurity, which is crazy. Crazy to really think about because I've spent literally my entire life knowing that I was meant to see the other side of success. You're scraping and you're struggling and you're envisioning this life that you should be living if you had all the success that you know that you're deserving of. That was me for as long as I can remember. Because I had this awareness of my specific talents, and I could turn on the TV and see people with less talent than I possessed making the big bucks. So it was just kind of simple math for me to deduce or determine that, oh yeah, I'm going to be incredibly successful later on in the future if the people that I'm seeing that are already successful aren't as talented as I am. So that's how I made it make sense in my head. Anyway, I say all that to say that we're finally in, like, it feels like a countdown, the final closing years of not being successful. Within, I don't know, 3, 4, maybe 5 years, I will be a household name within the fitness industry. Um, and after that, a household name within the entertainment and film industry. And then we can move into world leader and affecting the planet in a positive way through good intention, good negotiation, and good leadership skills. So that is the plan. Yeah. See, that's why I gotta do these updates more often because there's like so many directions I could go in because I haven't really talked to the camera in a while. But instead of just staring off into space and trying to collect my thoughts, I'm just gonna keep going. It was my birthday this past Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but the Tuesday before, September 6th, and I turned 33. And I always knew that the age 33 was going to be a big year for me because that was the year that Jesus Christ died. And probably no one watching this knows this, but there was a time when I was 23. I was going through, I guess you could call it an existential crisis or I like to call it the process of enlightenment. It spanned about a year where I was spending a lot of time meditating, um, diving deep into my own consciousness, not to get into a whole thing. A long story short, there was a moment during that year when I was 23 where I actually had a revelation at the time, and I became convinced that I was actually the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Due to the experiences that I was having on a frequent basis, there were so many coincidences that my brain was pointing me in the direction that I was God in human form, and that I had limitless power to affect the world around me, and that I was imbued with a very high purpose to bring about world peace. And that happened when I was 23. It was a lot. It's definitely weighed on me. I went crazy from like the realization that I had all this potential to actually change the world on such a magnitude. Um, so yeah, fast forward 10 years later, turning age 33, and I've since calmed down, not so much as my ambitions and my awareness of my own potential, but I don't feel the need to identify as the reincarnation of Jesus Christ because anyone could really identify as that. I'm more about the actions. What are we doing in reality to actually affect a positive change in the world? Um, but yeah, turning 33, it's like, okay, now it's time to pick up where Jesus Christ died. And he died at age 33. I plan on living a very long life just to give myself as much time as possible to affect the amount of change that I have planned for the planet and the universe as a whole. So I'm looking to die sometime in my 90s, if not longer. Hey, shit, maybe the technology and science will have improved by that time, where 90 is the new 60. I'm open to that. But I feel like it's my responsibility to stay on this planet as long as possible, just so that I can kind of solidify my influence as, permanently as I can, so that when I do pass, the effects of my teachings have a level of, like I said, permanence to them without my without me being there anymore. So that's the plan. And then I want to actually insert that in the same way that Jesus Christ promised that he would come back, the second coming, through the narrative that I'm pushing out, which is Shaun Fury is the most powerful being in the universe. By the time I'm done, I will insert into my narrative that I will also come back. So instead of being Jesus Christ, I can just be Shaun Fury, and he can be his own deity. It's pretty cool. I'm having a fun time telling the story. There's a lot of subtext, but that's like the beauty of any profound story is like it needs to be layered. On the surface, I am chasing after the title of greatest natural bodybuilder of all time, and then you peel back the layer, and I have aspirations of being a movie star who is also moonlighting as a superhero. So movie star is his day job, and then superhero is his, his alter ego, his other identity. So that's like the next layer. And then a layer beyond that is most powerful being in the universe, or the person who believes um, deep down that he is meant to bring about world peace and the next rise in consciousness for the human race and usher us into a new level of thinking and being. Yeah, so we're telling aspects of these stories every single day. Every single day we're telling this story. That's why it's so stimulating. I have so much energy on a day-to-day basis because this story is so invigorating. I just love it. I just love it. I love every aspect of it. Every layer of it is just really stimulating to me. Do we want to talk about natural bodybuilding? Yeah, we can talk about it. So, tomorrow, first off, before I get into tomorrow, I gotta say, um, getting into a sport was like the missing ingredient that I've been looking for all these years. Like I said earlier, I've had this plan to affect the world on a large scale for 10 years. 10 years I've had this idea ruminating in my brain, trying to figure out how to execute the plan. It was so abstract. How are we going to bring about world peace? What's the first step? And finding a sport to really immerse myself in and give myself all to was that first step, because you have to lead by example first and foremost. And if you want to be the apex of all alphas in your life and be the ultimate leader in the environment that you inhabit, you have to pursue the best version of yourself in every way imaginable. For me, that's physical, that's the mind, the body, and the spirit. So, discovering nutrition 3 years ago and understanding the value of that and how that can affect my body, and then becoming aware of my own body's potential in the realm of natural bodybuilding completely changed my perspective on what I thought was achievable in that sport and what I thought was achievable within myself so far as my physique is concerned. And I really took to it. I really took to it, and it has changed my entire life as a result of being able to pursue the best version of myself physically. It aligns so perfectly with the pursuit of the best version of myself mentally and spiritually. So it's that beautiful trifecta that I guess spiritual leaders have mentioned. I don't know. I don't think the Dalai Lama is as shredded as I am. It's kind of a joke. But really, my influences are Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, I think, is a person I think of when I consider an individual who was incredibly passionate about excelling in his own passions, proving to himself that he could push past his own limits and realize his potential in the world. He was always pushing for that best version of himself. And up until now, I've always asked myself, how could I pay homage to the philosophy and the example that he set throughout his life? Because he died at a very early age, too. I think he died at age 32, if I'm not mistaken. And through the pursuit of this physical excellence and becoming the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time, I do get to pay homage to Bruce Lee in the same way, where I get to go to sleep and wake up and practice the discipline and the routine and the level of precision that is required to achieve such a lofty goal as that. And through that, my mind becomes more honed and my spirit becomes greater. It becomes larger, more encompassing. My aura expands, so to speak, just through the consistent pursuit of peaking myself in every way imaginable. Everything grows, everything expands. And, we got through all the scary stuff 10 years ago. And like I said, I did experience a lot of fear when I became aware of all of this. My ambition, my potential. My potential alone was keeping me up at night 10 years ago. It scared the fuck out of me. It really did. But I got through it. I had some nervous breakdown. Got to LA, smoked weed for an entire fucking year just to calm down. The whole time I knew that when it came time to start executing, I would, and I would never look back. I will say that age 33 came last Tuesday, like I said, and my brain has really switched into execution mode. My entire time living in Los Angeles, I've been trying to get away from that beta stage. Someone had said that many years ago when they asked me what my aspirations were in Los Angeles, and I would give them. At the time, this was the first year in LA, and I had said something like, I want to tell a story of the universe experiencing itself in human form and the universe becoming aware of the fact that through this awareness that you are the universe, you have a level of control over your reality due to the fact that you're just interacting with yourself at all times. So the more awareness that you have that the reality that you're experiencing is the universe that you are inhabiting. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it, but essentially, yeah, that was the story I wanted to tell. Is that like everything around us is just a reflection of our own reality, our own universe that's happening inside the brain. I will do a better job explaining it later on down the line, I swear to God. But I remember saying this to a girl at a party, and she's like, "Okay, all right, so you're like in the beta stage," and that stuck with me for so long. Every time I got to like another birthday, like age 26 or age 27, I would keep writing in my little journal like, "Beta stage is over, bro. Beta stage is over. Let's do it. Let's be the apex of all alphas. Let's just like inhabit that role and actually be that person." And my birthday would come and go, and my behaviors, my actions, the way I moved wouldn't change. And I can proudly say that the beta stage is definitely over. I am the apex of all alphas now. Try to say that sexier. We'll get better at all of this, but it's good to say it out loud. It's good to just, you know, relax and just say it. I am the apex of all alphas, the enlightened one, etc., etc., etc. World's first superhero. Cool. Anywho, yeah, grateful for bodybuilding. Tomorrow is a big day for the documentary. Um, we're going to be training with IFBB Pro Kendall Richmond, myself, and Valley Muscle. We've been trying to work with this dude for honestly this entire year now. He's been on our radar for a while now, just because of the fact that he's pretty much one of, if not the top natural bodybuilder in the world at this current point in time. He's a two-time WNBF world champion. And then he went over to NPC, got his pro card at the Arnold Classic Amateur. I think that was a year or two ago. I think last year. And that made a lot of waves. He got the nickname the Natural Disaster. He competed at this year's Arnold Classic, and he's going to be competing again in about, I don't know, 8.5 weeks-ish at the Ben Wieters Naturals, which IFBB is looking to make Ben Wieters Naturals like their Mr. Olympia for natural competition. So he's looking to win that, and then through winning that competition, he'll get an invitation to compete at the Mr. Olympia as a natural bodybuilder. So that's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. which is why I refer to him as like pretty much the biggest person in the natural bodybuilding scene. So we're going to be working with him tomorrow, and I think that'll be great. I think it's going to be a great time. I get to look the competition in the face so far as, you know, he has set the standard for what it means to be a top natural bodybuilder. Um, his size, his conditioning, his shape, everything is elite. It's at an elite level, as it should be. And I'll be able to look at him and determine how many years away am I from competing against this guy? How many years away am I from beating this guy? So I think that will be very beneficial. And it's going to be great content. We're going to have two videographers capturing the whole thing, one shooting horizontal, the other shooting vertical. We'll be taking pictures. Hopefully our coach is going to be there. We'll see. That would be cool. But overall, it should be a very significant day in the journey of our rise to the top of natural bodybuilding and the bodybuilding sport at large. It should be a significant day. I think this is good. 20 some minutes in. Like I said, once I get in the habit of posting more often, it won't be like such an information dump, but this has been pretty chill. I myself am 7 to 8 weeks out from my next show in November 9th in the Bahamas, like I said. Feeling good. Feeling good. Natural bodybuilding. You get it. Okay, I'm going to finish my laundry, make my overnight oats, and get ready for bed. Peace.